like to
Sure.
tour, and also I have the assignments if you wanted to look at those.
I think that's been the biggest advantage of Flip. You really flipped around a project. So
Yes.
because you took 3 weeks, those are 3 weeks of lecture time. They would just be sitting there
And they would
listening, and then they listened to those now online and had the chance to do this. These are freshman students that now
have
have.
second semester. Just so you know, they're not. They have a whole nother year left before they graduate. So the work, like, they had to come up with them, and they have like a table of contents, and then inside, this is all the stuff they had to come up with. They had to come up with activities, and then they had to do the sheets for all of them. So if you flip, here's all the sheets, and they had to have the name, they had to have whether it was preparatory, purposeful, it's our way of thinking in OT. They had to give why that they said it did, like if it was visual perception and it helped foster visual perceptual abilities, they had to say why their activity was doing that. So it really gets into all the philosophy, all the frames of reference, everything we've taught them, and then what supplies they need. This is just one. Duration, steps to perform, adaptations, where they said they had trouble, how can you bring it up and down? So now I know how to grade it easier too, because I'm gonna be really looking at adaptations when I grade them. I don't have to look at so many other things. Adaptations is kind of where my attention is gonna be. So, and then they had to come up with at least a minimum of 10 for an A, so they could pick their grade, and then they had to label them. Now this is for balance, and I think they came up with a Hawaiian dance to do with a child, and they put it all in a bag. But this is creativity, and I think she had a balance board that I didn't get to bring that she created. She made it out of some sort of, I don't know, stuff, this hard stuff, and they have to dance on the balance board. I mean, how much more creative can you get? Yes. Yeah. So I mean, and they had to label them. It had to be organized. Oh, here's one for you. For tactile defensiveness.
What is it?
Open it and find out. Just don't dump it. Here's another one. This one's kind of cute. Beads, beads, beads. They took an egg carton. People gave us egg cartons. Dice. For color recognition. And they made them. It seems so simple, but this is what they created. I mean,
And how long did they have to do this?
I gave it to them week 4, and it's due today.
Okay.
So just to tell you, I mean, it was a lengthy, but I gave them a lot, like at least 3 hours of my class time to work on it. And then I also do a review class, and I had the review class if they had questions and things. We use that if they needed it.
And they didn't do this in classes that you haven't flipped.
No, I did like little versions of it, but I did little kits and stuff like that. And here's another one. The notebook isn't as neat, but this girl, extremely creative. Out of a bottle. So, I mean, what little kid is not going to play with this stuff? And then this guy. She created all this out of the stuff we had. But I can't think this stuff up. You know, isn't it cool though? I mean, and then they get to use it in practice. They get to bring it with them, turkey baster and stuff like that for hand strength to push. They have a hockey game or whatever they're gonna do. I mean, really cool stuff. It's simple. And she gave me 2 bins, not just one. She gave me 2. This girl, because it wouldn't all fit in one.
You should partner with like entrepreneurial students and they can create these and sell them.
Yeah, but can you imagine? Tactile defensiveness is when people don't like to touch things. Children with autism in particular, they don't like to be touched. Children who have been in the NIC unit, neonatal intensive care units come out and they've had tubes. And did you touch it?
Yeah.
Did you? Here.
Pretty undefensive.
Isn't that neat? Yeah, but I mean, she's got it. It's kind of neat. And there's one thing she said she couldn't put it in there because it dumped twice oil. She had oil for something. So I couldn't put it in, I think it's in that other kit, but I couldn't put it in there, it dumped twice. Can I just leave a note? I tried. I'm like, okay, it's the same girl. So, But they do a really nice job, and all the other ones are in the OTA lab, so if you wanna walk in there, there's gonna be 29 of them that I have to grade. That's the hard part, is the grading, but if they come in this quick, I mean, it's easy. Can you say A? Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, I looked through these two in particular really heavily because I hadn't done it before, but I know what I'm looking for now too, because I was like, well, can I borrow these napkins? They were flattered.
Heather, have you seen their grades go up? I mean, have you only done it this semester?
You know, I've only done it this semester. That's something that Stan and I were talking about, is we really would love to follow a cohort before I did it in grades and then after. Somehow try to figure out how to do that. But I think for a head start, they felt more prepared, definitely, when they went to work with little kids. Especially if they hadn't worked with little kids before. You have to think like a kid, which is really kind of fun.
So one of the things that I want to point out, you know, Heather was talking about there's time involved. You know, that's the reality of it. You're going to teach a lecture, and then you're going to, you know, you need to edit the lecture and stuff like that. But
once it's done, it's done.
You know, right now, Corey and I, we both turned on iPads and we recorded this presentation. We're going to do something we haven't done before, is we're going to marry the two up, and you know, like when we flip from slide to slide, we catch it from a different angle, you know. But I use the iPad. Now we'll just go down and edit it and, you know, figure out where the breaks are and, you know.
Yeah, and you get better at it. And once it's done, like next year, I don't have to do those 3 weeks anymore. I don't have to, all I have to do is review my content to make sure I have my vocabulary and all that stuff that you guys pull out in the last second, the medical terminology, at least for me and all that. And then I walk in. Done. So once you do the upfront, I mean, you may have to update it a little, and the beauty they told me too is you can edit yourself even to add something else in if you needed to. I'm like, beauty, I can do that. So, I mean, I might be wearing something different, but something else might pop in there, but hey.
But you know, you could have, you know, say a PowerPoint and narration, right? So you could sit at home, pull out your smartphone, right? Just kind of click through the slides, but just talk to your smartphone and capture the audio. Come in, and we'll marry the slides up to the audio, and you have a you know, so you don't necessarily, the space is booked, this is the only time. I mean, there's multiple ways of creating these things, you know, that you know, you go on a vacation, and I know you're not supposed to work on vacation, but sometimes everybody else is out doing things, you're just kicking back, relaxing, trying to get ahead. You know, okay, well, let me go and just capture this audio, drop it up into a Google Drive so you know it's there. Later, come back and like, okay, let me just pull that all together, and you have a presentation. And seriously, that doesn't take too much time at all.
The other thing too, he mentioned to me the other day that I totally forgot about is there's YouTube. So if there's something really good on history,
tons,
or English or computer science, and it's already done, why do you have to do it? You just put it up in Blackboard. You have your links, you have them do it, you watch it, you have your probes. You could have them, you know, you could have some audio in there to do the probes if you wanted to, or you could just have them on the readings or whatever. And quiz them when they come to class, and it's already done. So you don't necessarily have to do the whole clip thing.
Yeah, if you're showing a video in class, all right, we're gonna watch this, you know, and okay, you're gonna have homework later. It's just, you know, here, watch the video at home, and you know, let's talk about this. Let's, you know, explore, do that role playing or whatever activity that you want to do. And we have one of the things I'd like to talk about one day, and I've told Tim, is I have what's called learning battle cards. It's 108 different activities, right? And from there, there's examples of how people have done this, but you can break it out. Do you want a synchronous activity or an asynchronous? Do you want it a group activity or self-directed? You know, and so all these different ways pull out activities that are appropriate. So if you can't, well, I don't know what to do in my class, you know, now that I've flipped it, you know, we have thoughts for you. So.
Yeah, they've been really helpful. Like, they'll help you figure out the best way that is the least time intensive. So, which is really nice. So if there's stuff up on YouTube already, that saves that whole step. So that stuff I was terrified of. So.
Let's thank Heather for the presentation.
Thank you. And then we were going to share the space, right?
Yeah, we can definitely.